One rapper's grandparents got smoked, while another rapper got gunned down with 64 shots. Here's some rappers who got checked by gangs. Starting off with KTS Dre and the beef between the Cutthroats, or KTS, and No Limits in Chicago, or NLMB. And it's been brewing for a minute. But there's this one night that took things to a whole nother level. You see, KTS and NLMB been beefing since they lost Lil Pez back in 08. KTS blamed NLMB for Pez's death, and it's been war ever since. So KTS decides to roll up on their ops block looking for some smoke. They spot some NMLB dudes chilling at McDonald's, thinking they caught him slipping. KTS Dre catches No Limit Cairo off guard, starts smacking him around on camera. He's trying to make Cairo diss his own set, but Cairo ain't folding.
Say fuck rock. What? Say it. Hey, ain't no unzipping enough. Say fuck rock. Say it. Don't be scared, Don't be scared.
Security gets between them and kicks them all out. KTS, including Von and Dre, bounce. Now NLMB ain't about to let that slide, and the next thing you know, shots start popping off. Fast forward and Von's luck runs out. An op catches him slipping and Von checks out at 21. After the incident, Cairo and Dre get into this heated exchange on IG Live, but Cairo still doesn't back down.
I never ran for you. I only seen you one time.
Never ran for me.
I only seen you one time in person. And that was that day, and I ain't even run that day.
Dre keeps pushing his luck too. Even when he's locked up, he's on the gram, dissing dead NLMB members, talking smack about G Herbo's brother, who got touched at the barber shop.
I need to see the barber. I need to see my barber before I got my up. I don't know nothing about that. All that I'm gonna get you sucked. I don't know nothing about that.
But the streets always watching, always waiting. After doing a bid, Dre gets out on bond. His girl and grandma come to scoop him up from the county. But they ain't the only ones waiting. Two whips pull up, gunmen hop out, and it's a wrap. Dre catches 64 shots right there in front of the jail.
KTS Dre, he'd just been bailed out, and police say he was ambushed by two men who got out of a vehicle near the jail. Sylvester was shot as many as 64 times and pronounced dead at Mount Sinai.
His grandma and a bystander got hit too, but they made it. Dre wasn't so lucky and checked out at just 31 years old. No arrests were made, but word on the street is NLMB did the hit, getting their revenge on Dre for dissing the dead. See, when you're in this life, you're always one step away from being next. And if it's not you, it could be the people closest to you. Like what this next rapper had to go through after messing with the wrong gang. Honeycomb Brazy, a dude who learned the hard way that the streets don't forget, and they sure as hell don't forgive. Back in 2016, fresh out the pen, Brazy allegedly caught a body. And we're talking about Ladarius Moore, aka Stank, a childhood homie turned victim. Now word is Brazy was slinging za when Stank kicked down his girl's door. Things get heated and the next thing you know, Stank's laid out. This hit different, cause Stank was loved in the hood. Brazy beat the charge and denied killing him.
I didn't look man, I killed brothers in real life, locked up for murder, killed brother and steal his brothers. You see what I'm saying? This.
But his own didn't even believe him and turned their backs on him too. Fast forward to 2020 and Brazy's copping a Kobe jersey in Montgomery. He's on live flexing with his crew outside a barber shop.
That whole like Kobe. We came that out of rebound for real. Come get it. Got it. Come get it for real. Come get it, man. You got to that bitch out of rebound. Mama.
But the ops were watching. Shots start flying. The live goes dark. But everybody made it out alive.
Dead way.
You'd think Brazy would lay low after that, but nah. He's back on live, back in the hood.
None of y'all get hit. Oh, they not the back one that? That what you wore? The Crump part still way. I'm on this side.
You want to keep it in the front?
Yeah.
CCTV gives us another angle to look at. But the real tragedy hits in February 2021. Brazy's grandparents get lit up, their crib torched with them inside. The whole hood's in shock. Over 100 shots fired. This wasn't just gang violence, this was personal. Enter Darren Southall, a drug kingpin with Gulf Cartel ties. He's Stank's uncle, and he's out for blood. Police connect the dots, realizing this is all payback for Stank's death years ago. Brazy even drops a line in his track, DA Truth, calling out the biggest rat in the city with a price on his head. Biggest rat in the city got some bricks on my head, and these niggas trying to step, what type of shit is that? You know they shot me 8 times, hit me all in the head. I shook up out of coma. I supposed to be dead. He knew Southall was gunning for him. Now more than a year later, Southall and his crew get scooped up for the grandparents' murder. But by then, the damage was done. But at least Brazy made it out with his life, unlike this next rapper. Fulio was out here living that life, slinging bars and dodging bullets. This Jacksonville rapper was always on that hot boy shit, spitting his rhymes about the streets and all that drama that comes with it. But on June 23rd, 2024, his luck finally ran out. See, Fulio was trying to celebrate his 26th birthday. He had a pool party popping off at some Airbnb, but the boys in blue weren't having that. They shut that shit down real quick, so Fulio and his squad had to bounce. They ended up at a spot called Home 2 Suites in Tampa, thinking they was safe. But them ops was on them. 5 of them strapped up and dressed in black lurking in the cut at the hotel. When Fulio's whip pulls up around 4:40 in the morning, they start busting shots. Fulio's ride looked like Swiss cheese. When the smoke cleared, Fulio was gone, checked out for good. 3 of his homies got hit too, but they made it in the hospital. Now, Fulio been playing with fire for a minute. He'd already survived a couple of attempts on his life, including one back in 2021 and another back in October 2023, where he caught one in the foot. But this time, his time was up.
You got no shooters. I emptied my whole clip on my daddy. Stop playing with me, nigga. I didn't get hit. I got grazed in the leg. Stop playing. I don't trade these, nigga. I emptied my whole clip, nigga.
He hops on IG Live to talk to his fans and explain what happened, and clown on his ops for missing a whole 100 shots.
Nigga did miss a whole 100 shots though. You know they sick right now. Whoever did it, they sick. One nigga had 2 choppers, 1 me. I'm blowing back. I'm trading.
Looks like the feds were doing their jobs when they rounded up most of the suspects pretty quick. Sean Gathright, Alicia Andrews, and Isaiah Chance Jr., all young bucks in their late teens and early 20s. They're still looking for 2 more, Devon and Rashard Murphy, all of them facing first-degree murder charges. Word on the street is this was some kind of gang-related beef. Fulio had been pushing buttons and stepping on toes, and these young guns decided to put an end to it. Now, Fulio lived by the gun, rapped about that life, and ultimately died by it. And just like Fulio, this next rapper caught the heat on a highway. Jakejit thought he was untouchable, repping Wagga in the Bully Gang. He was running with Fulio's KTA crew, but homie learned the hard way that in the streets, there's some lines you don't cross. Mid-2023, Jake and his squad decide to pull a move so cold, it froze the whole city. They roll up to the grave of Royale Devin Smith Jr., known in the streets as 2-3, and start flexing. Now 2-3 wasn't just any random dude, he was tight with Young and Ace. Flashback to 2018. Ace, 2-3, and the homies decide to hit the town for 2-3's birthday. They knew better than to move sloppy in these streets, but one slip was all it took. And as they're leaving, some ops pull up and start letting off shots. When the smoke cleared, Ace was the only one left breathing, catching 8 slugs but somehow making it out alive. Everyone else in the whip, including 2-3, didn't make it. Now Jake starts running his mouth non-stop. He's dissing 2-3, clowning Ace, but in these streets, karma ain't just a word, it's a promise. Now one day Jack's luck ran out, and he gets caught slipping on the highway, and just like that, he's checked out too. The streets don't forget, and they sure don't forgive. As soon as word hit that Jake was in town, his ops started going in. They wasn't showing no mercy, using pics of Jake's shot-up ride for their track covers. Straight disrespected. Wappa couldn't resist getting his licks in too, jumping on the gram to clown Jake.
Jake did. Be like, Ray, Fulio mama, you cold. Free spin. Hey, circle.
Some say Jake got what was coming to him. Others were shaking their heads at senseless violence. But one thing's clear. In the rap game, especially when you're repping sets and dissing the dead, you better be ready for the consequences. But if there's one G the streets thought would be sending people 6 feet under rather than being sent 6 feet under, it's this next rapper. A real G, King Von from O Block of Chi-Town. This dude was reppin' O Block hard and always ready to throw down for his set. Von came up through the trenches where beef ain't just words, it's life or death. It was about that action 24/7, always strapped and ready to let it go if an op stepped wrong. This ain't no fake rapper frontin' for the gram. Von was certified, and everybody knew it.
Hey, folks, cool. Folks, get in the car. Let's put a pole. That's G. Hey, folks, we out.
Back in 2014, when Von was just a young bull, he got mixed up with some really heavy shit. Word is he put work on Jakejit Barnes, a shorty from the ops side who was known to be trigger happy herself. Von never caught a case for it, but in the streets, everyone knew the score. That move put respect on his name, but it also painted a target on his back. Von wouldn't stop here though. He caught another body, some dude named Malcolm Stuckey, from a rival set. Again, Von beat the case, but his rep in the streets just kept growing. Von's music was just as raw as his street life. Tracks like Crazy Story. So I rise, hit one in his arm, hit one in his thigh, this no lie. Bitch, do or die. You said you're gonna slide. You got some nerve. You a curb. Boy, we put in work. From 64th and from 65th. We not from 63rd. And War With Us, where he dissed Jakejit Barnes, aka K.I. Put a pretty op bitch in a morgue, huh? Call that bitch drop dead gorgeous, damn. And this wasn't no cap rap, this was real life put to a beat. He was painting pictures of wild shit going down in O Block, and dudes was locked in cause they knew it was authentic. But you see, when you live by the gun, sometimes you die by it too, and that's exactly what went down with Von. On November 6, Von and the squad roll up in Atlanta to Monaco Hookah Lounge. Little did they know, Quando Rondo and his crew were there too. Now Quando, repping the rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips, a whole different set from Von's BDs, would meet with mad tension between them, and when they crossed paths that night, things got heated. Before anyone could blink, the altercation turned into shots ringing out, and this time Von's luck ran out. Some dude named Timothy Lil Tim Leaks from Quando's crew started busting shots, and Von caught multiple slugs going down pretty hard. Now, despite getting rushed to the hospital, the damage was done. King Von checked out at 26 years old. The streets was hot after that. Everybody was waiting to see if Von's crew was gonna get back, but the law was watching close. Lil Tim got booked for murder, but he was claiming self-defense, making the whole situation messy as hell. Now, Von's death shook up the whole drill scene. The king lived by that killer be killed code from them Chicago streets, and in the end, that's what took him out. And especially if you put here dissing the dead, better be sure you catching heat, like this next rapper. Mubu Crump gets the bright idea to go live at a spot where Lil Durk's cousin Newski got smoked. Not content with just being there, he starts popping off at the mouth, disrespecting Newski's name like it was nothing. Why? Cause he had beef with OTF.
They left his ass right here. You feel me? They left his ass up here on folks and them tweaking. Some shoes, y'all see real be up here though. They play with me up here on this bills when bitch on the news. I look like Newski. Hit his ass up right here on Pat.
But Crump wasn't done, he had to take it further. Next thing you know, this fool's pulling up at a location where Dirk's manager Chino met his end. Again, he's on live, running his mouth.
Finna show y'all my location.
And May 25th, 2018 rolls around and Crump's at some house party. He's outside, not a care in the world, when suddenly a whip rolls by. Next thing you know, shots are ringing out. Crump catches 4 bullets, 2 in the arm, 2 in the torso. They rush him to the hospital, but it's too late. And when Lil Durk heard about Crump checking out, he was ready to party. But Crump ain't the only one who learned the hard way that messing with OTF is bad for your health. FBG Cash thought he was slick, but this next rapper made him rethink his strategies. Chicago rapper FBG Cash learning the hard way that there's just some lines you don't cross, especially when it comes to the dead. See, back in 2020, Cash decided to just play with fire. He rolls up to King Von's mural and starts snapping pics. Cash, thinking he's slick, goes on No Jumper to chat with Adam 22 about his little stunt. He's running his mouth, talking about some convo he had with Lil Durk before pulling this move.
What was what kind of conversation were you having before he told you to go take this photo?
Go over there and do that and see what happened to you. I'm outside right now.
You hit him up?
Yeah.
Now, if you know anything about Durk and Von's relationship, you know this ain't gonna sit well. In the streets, loyalty doesn't stop when someone checks out. If anything, it gets stronger. So Cash disrespecting Von's memory, that's like spitting in the face of the whole O Block. Durk, being the voice he is, didn't let that slide. He came back with a track, dropping bars that are more than just lyrics. When he spits, "Sneaking pics by Von Mural like Lil Bro won't come out and spin." That ain't just a bar, that's a whole threat laid out for everyone to hear. Now, in the rap game, sometimes threats stay on wax. But in Chicago, nah, they take that stuff seriously. And sure enough, just 3 months after Durk's track drops, FBG Cash catches a fate he hadn't come back from.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting early this morning in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. 31-year-old Tristan Hamilton was shot multiple times, according to...
Next thing you know, shots are ringing out and Cash becomes another statistic in the Chicago drill scene. But Cash ain't the only rapper that took things too far and paid the price. Raw G's, a young blood from the Bronx, repping them 800 YGs, also known as the Young Gunners. Now, Raw was constantly pushing buttons, going on live, running his mouth, and trying to provoke K-Flock and his crew.
You over here capping in your raps. You over here capping in your...
Why you jacking and shot me?
What you said?
Why you jacking and shot me in my stomach?
He was acting like he wanted all the smoke. But when K-Flock finally caught him lacking in these streets, homeboy wasn't about that action. Word is K-Flock ran up on Raw in public, and Raw froze up like he's seen a ghost. K-Flock even went live while trying to spin on Raw, showing the whole world that this dude was all cap.
Look at this long shit. They know what I do. Bro, day, bitch, I'm trying to spin. Look how comfortable I am on this block. That nigga all in there.
But Raw wasn't about to take that L quietly. He hops back on IG Live talking about how he never saw K-Flock and how he was ready for whatever.
Somebody tag K-Flock. Somebody tag K-Flock. It's not playing. Come right back. Outside right now as we speak. You coming through hard and all live, blocking niggas off your lives so they can't see you.
Not long after, some of Sev's side goons caught Raw slipping in the streets and they was on him. But things really go down on July 11th, 2021. Raw thought he was just going to the studio, probably to lay down some tracks about how tough he was. Little did he know his big mouth finally caught up to him.
This is how he died, y'all.
As he was hopping into an Uber, two dudes on scooters pull up out of nowhere and start letting off shots. The whole thing got caught on the dash cam, and that footage spread through social media like wildfire. Raw got hit, and he ain't make it. Now, here's where it gets real deep. Just a few hours before Raw got smoked, a young blood named Jerron Elliott, only been repping the Crips, got taken out. Now, the word is that Raw had been running his mouth on social media, dissing the dead and clowning Jerron. And that was the final straw. The ops wasn't having it no mo. They decided it was time to silence Raw for good. The Bronx was already hot with gang beef, and Raw's death just turned up the heat, like adding fuel to a fire that was already burning out of control. MYGs and their ops was going back and forth, with bodies dropping on both sides. Now, this next rapper caught a fade from an ex-homie. Bankroll Fresh, a young bull out of A-Town, was blowing up in the streets, but on March 4th, 2016, the fan. Fresh got caught up with some beef with his childhood homie turned op, No Plug. The whole thing goes down outside a studio in Atlanta, and it gets real ugly real quick. You see, Fresh and No Plug used to be real tight, but when Fresh started blowing up, some petty beef started brewing. No Plug said it was over some females and street shit, but who really knows? What's clear is that it got heated at some turkey drive in the hood. Fresh rolled up unannounced, and No Plug's crew wasn't feeling it. They kicked Fresh out, and that's when the real beef started cooking.
Okay, so explain that.
Like explain our friendship?
Yeah, like when did y'all meet and how close was the friendship?
Okay, well we met like when we was probably like...
Fast forward to the fateful night at the studio. No Plug claiming he's there on some business when he ran into Fresh. But Fresh was still hot about that turkey drive incident and started popping off at the mouth. Next thing you know, they're scrapping, falling down some stairs and
I ain't trying to hit that so I turned around trying to... I was finna leave. He tried to mush me. When he tried to mush me, I just grabbed him, you know what I'm saying? Like grabbed him and we tussled, we fell down the stairs.
When they get separated, No Plug tried to bounce, but he dropped his phone. When he came back to grab it, that's when all hell broke loose. Fresh and his squad was strapped up, ready for war. Fresh even had a stick on him, itching to let it bang. The security footage shows a bunch of dudes with hammers posted up outside the studio waiting for something to pop off. And pop off it did. When the smoke clears, cops found more than 50 shell casings at this scene. Now Fresh caught a bad one in that shootout and didn't make it. He checked out at 28 years old, right when his career was taking off. After that, the streets were on fire, with everybody pointing fingers at No Plug. No Plug then goes on DJ Vlad to tell his side, saying he didn't want it to go down like that.
Who you got a stick for? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, it ain't even that kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? He know I would never like just harm him like that, you feel me? Because I know his mama, I ain't even.
But the streets wasn't trying to hear it. Bankroll was loved out there. And folks still be mad heated about how it all went down.